Lifeguards Off Duty with Dr. Michael Kachmar. Today's date is December 4th. December, does it say the 14th? Today's the 14th. Our year of our Lord, 2021.
God bless.
And thank you for everyone for tuning in. We are live today from Toms River, New Jersey, and we have a full crew here today of Lifeguards Off Duty. So just want to get some housekeeping out of the way, which I was told not to do quickly. I was scolded. So my name is Dr. Michael Kachmar. My name is, I know, I'm getting taken. My name is Dr. My name is Dr. Michael Kachmar. I am a board certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgery, doctor of podiatric medicine. We have a webpage, JerseyShoreFootandLegCenter.com. We have an email address, which is drkachmar@icloud.com. And we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Podcasts, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube video. So subscribe to us, ring the bell, and come and see us. So, and we do have some other, we'll put during the show, if you guys want to check it out on our YouTube, we post information to get a hold of us. So I'm Dr. Michael Kachmar. I'm here today. I'll introduce everybody. We do have a guest today, but we have Sean. Say hello.
Hello.
We have here Tyler.
What's up, everybody?
And that's Tyler. And we have our guest today.
What's up?
What's up? How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. So we have nobody told me about what the show content is going to be today. So it's Troy Van Heis's favorite phrase, weekend warriors.
Favorite phrase regarding you.
Oh, so
I think I like to think regarding everything.
Everything.
The amount every day.
So
I get it from him.
So why don't you just introduce who you are, like how long you've been on the beach patrol, a little bit of your.
And then Brosonski. I've been part of the beach patrol since 2013. So about 9 years. From Toms River, New Jersey. Grew up on the beach. Always going to Seaside Heights. So
where'd you grow up?
Toms River. Just
okay,
right down.
Toms River. Okay, where'd you go to? North?
South.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember that. Yeah. So that's pretty good. So you're local. You're your local boy.
Yep. That's me.
That's good.
I literally remember going to Seaside Heights when I was like a kid before. Like my furthest memory back is watching a tourist hit a seagull on the head, and then watching one of the lifeguards almost fight him.
What year was that?
That was in 2011, I think. It was like 2011.
Well, it wasn't me, was it?
No, it was. I know who it was. It was Murphy. It was Murphy.
Who was it? Murphy.
It was Murphy. Yeah.
Murphy. Yeah.
I was right on Webster too.
So this is before you started working.
Yeah, this is a few years before I started working. And then like finally, I was on the stand with him once, and I told him about that, and he was like, "Was that like 2 years ago?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, that was me." He was like, "I remember that." He's like, "Guy hit a seagull on the head with a shovel."
Yeah, people cruel. Kids run after it.
All you guys grew up down the shore. I grew up in the woods in Jackson.
Yeah, I can't believe you used to go to Seaside Heights as like your beach.
That was your beach?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. That was just where I went because I would go with my friends to do stuff on the boardwalk, play games and stuff, and then we would just walk right onto the beach. Rather, the Seaside Park was boring. I mean, the crowds weren't there, but like there was, nothing but a boardwalk. Like we went with our families, like when families from like our school or like church or whatever got together. It was always on 7th Avenue at Seaside Park. But like whenever it was like me and like my friends and stuff, we were always just running around Seaside up to no good.
Little blonde-haired Grom.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What years was that? What years? So give me.
That was probably like 2009 to about 2011.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was like deep in the Jersey Shore era.
Yeah, that was. I don't think they were still there at the time, but like it was buzzing. Like that beach was insane. Like the beach, you can never find any sand. Like I remember, like we would always be right next to the boardwalk because we couldn't get to the water. We
talked about that. MTV was really big crowds. But I did the same thing. I grew up. We moved down to Bayville in like 70. So there was nothing going on in summertime anywhere except Seaside. And we would, parents, we'd come over here and we would just terrorize the place. And because we all surfed, and then at night a bunch of my buddies, I remember we would just go crazy. We jump on the rides illegally. There's pools. There was a big pool. We used to jump in there and we get thrown out. But I guess nothing changes. You guys, everything, you come over because that's where everything is.
It's just like a hub for people wanting to be degenerates.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great place to go.
So lifeguard, I know personally, lifeguarding's been a big part of your life, your whole life.
Yeah. I guess you could say I come from like a pedigree of lifeguards.
Yeah.
We're both my brothers. My brothers are twins. They're much older than me. So like just anytime I went to the beach with my family, I was up in Monmouth County, like sitting behind there.
What beach? What beach?
Spring Lake.
Oh, I like Spring Lake.
Yeah, no, it's
nice.
beautiful. That place
I
is
love
incredible.
Manasquan.
I messed
It's
that up.
beautiful.
I always tell people your brothers worked in Asbury.
Yeah, no, Spring Lake.
My bad.
Yeah.
Are they still
Anyway,
working
you're
there?
bad.
Are they still working there?
No. The one went to 7 presidents after a few years. And then the other one stayed there, was a crew chief for a while. He was like their main like tournament rower.
How old are they?
Like 47.
Oh,
now.
so that's how you got is that what inspired you to become a lifeguard?
I remember like anytime when I was a kid, I was like just sitting on the back of their beach, just thinking they were the coolest people in the world.
Wow.
Like now that I'm older, not so much, but like, sorry, David, if you're watching, but
That's
I
great.
remember my one brother made like a rescue, like when our whole family was there, and like him walking out of the water with some woman, like getting like a standing ovation for everyone. I was like, that's my brother.
Do you remember being like,
I want to be that.
were you like nervous watching it as a kid, or were you like, he's got this?
No, I didn't realize there was a rescue. I didn't realize it was him until I saw him walking. I just saw a big commotion and I ran down with my family, and then I saw David walking out with someone, and I was just like, oh, did you just rescue someone? Like that actually happens? I was like, that's so cool.
Hey, were you ever? Did you ever have to be rescued?
No.
No.
I was always pretty good in the water. I was always really comfortable in the ocean.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's great. Well, it seems like I mean, we've had quite a few people that I know over the years. It's the tradition. I mean, I mean, I've seen people. It's the 3rd and 4th generation of So that's really great. I tell you, I can see with Ava, because you guys see, I get her on the beach. I mean, it's something when you could hand over the baton to somebody, and that's great.
Yeah. And especially when I started becoming a lifeguard, talking lifeguarding with them, they gave me all the cheat codes to like not getting messed with while I was on the beach. Where they told me if there was like a torp pump that they were lying and they were just messing with me, or like was it the oarlock key, or the jetty wrench,
or go get 50 feet of shoreline,
something like that. They gave me like, or literally first day, like, and I remember like it was a Kenny Doherty tried to get me to get a torp pump once, and I'm like, So I know that's not a real thing.
Yeah,
he was very upset.
We've had rookies wound up for like a long time on that.
I remember. I think we sent someone to like headquarters to look for like the oarlock key, and like they didn't even tell them. They just like, oh, like Tyler has it down there. Like they just like kept it going.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, you can't even do that stuff anymore. So
it's good fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we definitely we showed you the studio a little bit before, and I know you're like a fiend for old gear. So what's your like favorite part of the studio in here?
Ooh,
favorite part of the
Well, we got the belt up there.
I can tell you it's not any of the plaques, like the one behind Kachmar. I mean the piece of the old roller coaster is pretty awesome.
yeah, that's
really cool.
Yeah, you want to shift the camera over so people could look at it. Just the one camera there, Tyler.
Let me see if I can get it.
Don't
But,
mess this up.
You're good. Just turn a little bit. So keep
Okay,
going, keep
up
going.
there in
Right
the
there.
corner.
top right.
Kachmar's
Right.
old diaper.
Yeah, that's my old uniform right
I
there.
don't think we've talked about that piece of the roller coaster on air.
That's how you told the story about your surfboard.
Yeah.
That well.
Did
I'm sorry. Gabe,
Yeah,
what were you
didn't
saying?
Cap get that or something? Who ended up with that?
Rob.
For the record, wait, everybody, it is the piece of the purple roller coaster that was off Casino Pier in Seaside Heights after.
Was that was the one that was like the picturesque,
the big
one, right?
iconic
Yeah.
one. It's after Hurricane.
The one that I'm
Sandy.
sure a lot of people have tattoos
Yeah.
on their bodies.
Yeah, we have a piece of
I'm
it
sure.
in the studio.
Pretty cool.
What's the story with that?
Sean, can you pull that picture up, maybe?
Yeah, I can try. What's the story with that?
How did you get that? Actually,
well,
I don't even think I know how you got that.
No. Rob gave it to me. Rob gave. But what happened was there was after some of us had access to the beach because we had to go over there. I was gone. I was actually away for 2 weeks when the storm hit. I left that Saturday, I think, on a plane, and the storm hit like the next day. I was like one of the last planes out. I'm not kidding around. And so I watched this from, afar. I had, now it was in October. So my boat, I had a big fishing boat. It was up on blocks. I figured it would be okay. But actually the whole area flooded and my boat, floated away. Yeah. And it didn't get damaged that bad, but we were talking about, I had a board, a Zulu board, which was a competition board. And I don't know, you guys didn't work there yet. Probably you weren't working there, but there was this big, Hamilton Avenue had it was an old bathrooms that got converted into storage areas for us. And it was huge. And we had all our stuff in there. And I had my Zulu board in there. And that thing just got blasted out. And all the stuff got thrown out into the ocean. And I'm watching national news with all my, all these other people, and I see my Zulu board banging against the pier. I'm not making it up. I never saw that thing ever again. But the
that's a roller coaster piece.
Right. And I actually had pictures. We should download them of actually the boardwalk. I went on the boardwalk when I got back 2 weeks later. You weren't allowed to go over there. They closed the whole area down. I don't know if you guys did. And but the boardwalk was still intact, but it was all wavy. And every garbage can was still up. It's amazing because they had like this. They put wood around it, but the roller coaster was in the water and it was totally trashed. This part's still sticking up, and so but a lot of it was washing up, believe it or not. So people were picking up the pieces of metal because it's
my rookie year was the first year after Sandy happened. 2013.
Yeah. So what was it like walking into that? Because the headquarters was like a trailer, right?
Yeah, the headquarters was a trailer. Brakes, everything was in the trailer. Was it the boardwalk was new? The boardwalk
they put all brand new.
The boardwalk was brand new. But then just things would wash up.
Did they not have
all
crazy things would wash up?
Everything was washing up.
Like I remember once, there was like a high tide, and I saw just like a piece of white metal sticking out of the sand.
Yeah.
So when the tide went out later in the day, I ran down to pick it up, and it ended up being like this gigantic piece of fencing from the pier that was as big as this table, and it took 3 or 4 guards to take it to rip it out because it was under 4 feet of sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just things were washing up, brooms were washing up, just old pieces of the pier. I remember once me and Dom were sitting, because I sat Sheridan too that year, which is right next to the pier. I was the first lifeguard standing north of the pier, and a silicone foot from one of the haunted houses washed up.
Did it look like a horror foot?
A woman was walking out of the water with a foot, just a foot, and me and Dom were just and she's like, yeah, it must be from the haunted house. And she walked away, and him and I just looked at each other. We are having so much fun, so much fun with this foot. And as gross as it sounds, we probably kept it for the whole summer in our box.
Yeah.
And Dom would put it up his sweats, so it looked like his foot, and then he'd be talking to people, and he'd kick it off the stand and stuff. Man. People would freak out. He would hit people with it.
It's funny. One of the funny things about the job is the trinkets we collect throughout the summer.
Oh,
remember the little dinosaur?
Oh, I still have that. I still have that. It's on my computer at home. Cuddles. If Busak's watching, he's gonna be rolling around because I stole it from him.
What is Cuddles, Adam?
Yeah, explain the Cuddles thing.
Cuddles. I don't really honestly know much about Cuddles other than Busak was a guard who annoyed me a lot. So and he had this ridiculous attachment to it. So one day he went on break and I just took it. Simple as that, just to cause him pain. And then he went around freaking out about it, and I didn't say anything. And then next year I took a picture, I printed out, I took a picture and printed it out and started putting them up around the headquarters, taunting him about it. And then he found out it was me.
That's so mean.
Do you remember?
He deserved it.
You remember? So with the
I love Busak though.
So we didn't have headquarters. You remember we had to use the outhouses. So I'll tell you that
I would just go in Spicy's. I was I don't want to use one of these outhouses that's been sitting.
Well, what they did is I don't know if they did. Eventually, they gave us our own outhouse.
Yeah.
So if people don't know, there was the headquarters was totally trash. We couldn't use it. And then we set up in a trailer, and then I don't know if we did it down in the north end, but we actually had the town put up a tower. We had to get something built so we could see. But I remember the outhouse. They said, because I was agree with you. I was like, listen, I'm not working anymore. I'm not going to go in an outhouse. I'm too old for this shit.
Go in. I could walk into Spicy's barefoot.
So we got our own.
We got our
own outhouse. But we used to be. I'd go in there and it'd be like, yelling at you. You know, can you not? And sometimes pay people from the boardwalk. They're like,
it's also like you have all the guards that have break at the same time. So like you have like 8 or 9 guards that all have to use it all one after another. And I'm like, I'll go to Spicy's.
But that's the whole town was. I mean, it was. I don't think there was any public bathrooms.
No,
nothing. Really, think about that.
And despite all that, you were still hooked from the beginning.
Oh yeah. It was pretty ridiculous.
Well, it was like a dream of yours to begin with.
Yeah. Well, it was something that like, because of my brothers, like when I was 14, I became like a lifeguard at like a pool in a lake, because that's like the oldest I could work. And I immediately got a job at that. And then once I turned 18, like I went to the beach.
That year that you worked, the first year, the rookie year, and it was right after Sandy. So we didn't have like showers. Like, how was it? Like, nothing. How was it different? So
bare bones.
So yeah. So what from your
bare bones lifeguard?
Right. So tell me, like, what you remember. How was just, like different?
It was just a little tiny like office that like couldn't even fit all the guards in it. Like so like when we had roll call in the morning, it was like half the guards were in, half the guards were out. So like it was real intimidating if like Cap decided to all of a sudden call you out as a rookie in front of like everyone, because you're like right there. You know, you're like right in front of them.
Yeah.
Which may or may not have happened to me a few times.
And you only worked for Rob Connor, correct?
Yeah, only Rob Connor. He's the only cap in that.
Yeah, he is Cap.
What didn't they have when you started?
They didn't have showers. They didn't have bathrooms.
No, like, did they have enough stands?
We had stands. We didn't have boats. So like my first year rowing was my second year. So I didn't have to worry at all about the stress of having to get inside a boat. So my rookie year, which honestly made it a lot easier.
Right. So the reason why we had, I'll give you the background, because you guys don't know. All our stands were destroyed. Because we had them
from Sandy.
All the stands were put back where we put them. We put them about 3-4 blocks in. And so they were all gone. Our boxes were all gone, almost all. Well, we actually recovered some of the boxes, and our boats. Not all of them got destroyed, but a lot of them. So we had to get the boats repaired, and we had to have new stands. Doug Priest made a lot of the stands. So the
stands were all really nice.
Yeah, and
they weren't the beat up ones.
We lost our cans, because the boxes were. I was telling the story. We had Fisher Boulevard over here on this side of the bay. It was about 5-6 miles. There was a box. One of our boxes got washed all over there. So, excuse me, we lost a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember when you first came in. So you didn't,
we
it was
a
whole different.
Yeah, we still, like, the piers were still just destroyed. Like,
Like
Funtown Pier was just garbage. It was just destroyed wood. You couldn't walk. You couldn't run around it. You couldn't do anything around it. It was like genuinely dangerous, because like there might be just a sharp piece of wood just under the sand. You know what I mean?
How was the ocean that summer? Because I don't remember. I mean, it blends in with me, but that's your first year. Maybe it's really sticking in your head. Did we have a lot of rescues? Was it bad ocean? I don't remember.
From what I remember, we had a lot of rescues, just because I was terrified of going on rescues 24/7. And like Cap was like, "Oh yeah, for your first like 40 some hours, you'll never sit by yourself." Well, that lasted till like my second day, pretty much. And I just Murphy and like the other guy were like, "Oh, we're both just gonna do things on the beach real quick, and we're just gonna leave you up here. Don't that." I think the thing that was said to me was, "Don't let anyone drown," and that was pretty much all the direction I got. So, like, there was no like training, there's no like certification that like I had to go through to like pass like some test. I kind of would just like put up there. I had my certifications for CPR.
Well, you get trained on the job.
You get trained on the job.
I mean, I mean, you did pass that. You had to swim. I mean, what do I tell you guys? I said you have to be able to swim.
Yeah. And then watching the water, because I'm like, I don't know if that guy's too far out or not. I don't know what it looks like. I've never actually seen someone in distress in the water. Yeah. Like I was a pool lifeguard for 3 years and never saw someone in distress.
Right. So that's why, see what we do. And that's why, when you say, we like when we're, that's why I sit up there with the binoculars and you guys are working out or somebody's left on a stand, that's why we have the secondary watch. We watch you guys. So you're never alone out there. You're never, ever. I mean, I could tell you maybe, different supervisors, but I'd never, ever not watch the water. And speaking, you got like me and Troy up there,
of course.
But it is difficult. That's another whole thing.
That was the thing. Like I was terrified of like getting called over the radio, because I would be publicly like corrected or yelled at in front of the entire.
How many times did I bust your nuts?
Dude, you busted my balls even when I was a senior guard for a thing.
I still will.
Kachmar, 1 year, we were doing the Boyd Memorial Swim.
What did I tell you?
We were doing the Boyd Memorial Swim.
How bad did I bust your?
And I was on the jet ski from 6 a.m. to like 10:45. All right, doing the Boyd swim, putting out all the stuff on the jet ski. And I came back. I got to Lincoln Avenue where I was sitting with my partner. Like I sat on the stand, and then the guy that was the senior guy on the beach, 2 stands over, took the first break, which means staggering it. I have to take the first break 2 stands down. Right. To leave the senior guy in the middle to watch his junior guard and my junior guard. So I get back up to the headquarters. All right. And I'm just like, I sat on the stand for 10 minutes. I felt terrible leaving my partner there because he'd been alone since 9 o'clock. You know, he had 2 hours by himself. He's gonna have another 45 minutes. And you come flying through the doors in my face, yelling at me for how the flags were set up on Lincoln and how they're too close together and this and that. And I'm like, I sat it for 10 minutes and then I got called on break. Dude. And I was like fuming after you left because I was like, I think it was Jack. I was like, my stand partner, like, oh, he knows. I was like, I set these flags up in the same spots every single day. He's been my partner for a month, and he didn't set these up. And I come to give him what you gave me, and he was like, dude, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Kachmar set the flags up. And so you yelled at me.
That's right, baby.
For how you set up the flag.
That's right, baby. That's right.
Yelling at me for stuff that you've done on my beach.
Is that some kind of twisted training technique?
I'm still convinced you did that on purpose just to set me up so you could yell at me. I'm convinced.
Slowly just been manipulating us.
You're learning my techniques.
You come over to my stand. You move some swimmers in the wrong direction and leave. Then go up on the radio and
then call me out for them.
Tell me that I got swimmers in the wrong spot.
Keeps you guys on your toes. Keeps you guys on your toes.
But we do turn the radio off.
But we do. The thing is though, we do have secondary, and we try to have the different layers of protection because not everybody. Listen, everybody can miss something, and we don't. You know what the thing is with rookies and people who are, it's really hard to remember. I always say this, and we were talking about when Timmy was here. We from our supervisor standpoint, we hire you guys, and it's really hard to remember. Who has 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and even at that, who's good or bad. By the middle of the day, or you start to, okay, this guy is good, that guy's. That's why one of the things about setting up the schedule, when Troy and I and Rob, it's so important. We try to put like and dislike, or who's a good swimmer, who's got more experience, and it's really, the lineup is very, very difficult. And I think that every one of you guys should, like, at least one day say, okay, you do the schedule today, Brosonski, or you do it, Tyler.
Oh well, first thing I do is I put Tyler at the bay.
But no, seriously, and then no, I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing, and that's one of the reasons why I get very phobic about having people who don't have a lot of experience, and you got to really watch how you do it. But we try to watch you guys. Well, I'm sorry.
How much thought really goes into like picking the senior guards that sit those stands?
I always wondered that too. Is it like you guys are picking like a lineup?
No, because like
a lot. Believe it or not,
I've seen a trend about the places I sit on the beach, and I'm always on a southern end stand. If I'm on north end, I'm on Sheridan. If I'm south end, I'm on Lincoln. And it was like that. It's like that from my rookie year. I sat Sheridan for 2 years, and then I got moved to Lincoln for the next 5.
Right. Well, here's the thing about that, and it's not a touchy situation, but every beach patrol, there's a hierarchy. I have a certain way that I would run it. There's other people who have certain ways they want to run it, and but generally speaking, whoever is putting the schedule together tries to have the talent spread out, because you need to do that. Not everybody's a good swimmer. Not everybody can see the water real well. And so you have to really try to, do that. I prefer when I first started, we set the same stand all the time.
Yeah.
7 days a week. You sat Hamilton, that was your whole beach, and you had one partner, and you guys got to know each other, and each lifeguards on each side got to know each other, how everybody was, and you knew your water. I thought that was a better way to go.
I love that.
Now, but the problem is, like, you guys now, how many days a week do you work?
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that.
7. Oh. Full time. When I was full time.
No, right now. But now, I mean, right now, most people
like on weekends, or just guys in general. Guys,
weekend warrior.
I work 2 days a week. I work 7 days a week, including my other job.
What has happened? What's trending now more and more is that people want to work 2-3 days a week. I was just talking to Joe Casino about La Valette. It's every beach. Chip Bruce, who runs State Park.
I feel like when it's people like Adam, like, what's the big deal? Because he has a full-time job. So if we have extra people coming in.
Oh, no.
Well,
No. It's not I'm sorry.
That's all I got.
No, it's not a big deal from the standpoint. It's not dangerous, but it's hard to make the schedule because you don't. It's easy when it's Tyler and you every day. There's no problem making a schedule. I know what it is. It's brain dead. But if I'm going to make the schedule and I have 7 guys today that weren't there yesterday, and I got to remember, okay, how's their talent? Match them up with other people. It becomes, we do make a lot of decisions up there based on where we want the best talent, and depend on the ocean. There's, and end stands are very important.
Yeah.
So
I feel like end stand guards usually stick to end stands. Does that make sense? Like I never got pulled outside of an end stand. Like I was always sitting Lincoln or Sheridan.
See,
and if I got moved, it was Sumner Avenue. But the thing is, like what I've seen this year, especially with me coming in on weekends, was like when I'm an 8-year lifeguard. So like if I come in, I outrank everyone on South End just with how long I've been there. And those are 6 guys that are sitting those same stands from what I saw, at least. And it would be hard for McKee, like if I came in and like they wanted to sit me on Webster, I would uproot you from the stand that you're used to.
I've actually have taken Lincoln from you.
Oh, you've taken.
So here, so
I know what you're saying.
But right now, like if I jumped into Lincoln from you, that water better than me. Even if I outrank you, like at this point, like our rank difference is really
2 things that we look at. So 2 things that every supervisor I'll put in the neck out and say that everybody out there, whoever's listening, probably thinks the same thing. We look at your experience when we're doing the schedule, how many years you got, but more importantly, how good are you a swimmer, and how can you see the water? Are you really intuitive about picking people out who are drowning? And that's how you have to do it. And you try to match and mix. And sometimes we have days where, we have a lot of weak people there. I mean, not everybody's super weak, but there are people who are better than others. I think our weakest girl or boy on the beach is better than, 99% of people out there. Yeah. We have a strong crew, but and everybody, and some days, some people they're not feeling good. You come in with a cold or something. Now with Corona, it's a different story. But if you come in or you worked we got guys like Brown, he works at night. Hey, the guy comes in, he's like, he had 2 hours of sleep. Yeah. And I'm like, if we don't need him, we'll say, well, Brown, go home and sleep. Come in later. So,
it was just an interesting trend to see these last 2 years, because the weekend warriors that would come in all outranked the normal like full-time guys essentially. So like when you had like me, like Fusco, Birdsall, and like some of the other guys come in, and like I looked at like the North End lineup, and the North End is usually less experienced than the South End, just because South End's where everything pops off, all the bars are down there and everything, which is completely understandable. But like on the weekends that I worked, our North End lineup was like me 9 years, like Birdsall, what, like 10 years, like Fusco, 12 years, Tyler, 9 years, another guy, like 7 years, like every single guy outranked the South End one. And it was just funny to see how much coverage we had on weekends on the North End with the weekend guards coming in. Because we had juicy lineups on the North End. We had like proper, like 6 or 7, like really experienced, proper South End guards who have been in the thick of it, sitting on North End. You know what I mean? And
you know what? But you got to understand too, is the North. There used to be a difference. Oh, North End is not that busy, not that crazy. You could put your B team down there. That's not the case anymore. Mm-hmm. Both sides are really could get really crazy and really busy. So and these weekend warriors, which you should explain what weekend warriors mean. But when we have somebody who comes in with that much experience, mm-hmm. it takes a lot of pressure off us on us and the supervisors. Because then the guys on the bench really know their stuff and they can handle. It's just not lifeguarding. You know what it is? It's lost kids. It's not it's somebody's passed out on the beach, and it always is that 9 things happen at one time. You have 2 rescues going on. You have 5 lost kids, and you got to really mellow yourself out. And if somebody's yelling and screaming, "My kid's drowned!" They're not. They're missing. They're walking on the other end of the beach.
You just lost sight of them.
But we explain what a weekend warrior. Who's going to talk? Because so for our podcast people and people on YouTube, maybe they don't know what a weekend warrior is. But can you
want me to explain the weekend
warrior?
Yeah, the weekend warrior are the guards who have full-time jobs Monday through Friday, and then decide to give up their weekends and come back and work on the beach anyway.
It is a real struggle to get people to come back to tan and work out, and
it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Absolutely, those are exhausting.
I'm glad you do it, but
it's exhausting. No, honestly, like these last 2 years, like weekend warriors weren't like a thing. Like when I was like a younger guard, like I never saw guys that just came in for Saturday and Sunday, then would go back.
Yeah, no,
that's like something that's been happening a lot more recently than in the past.
It's going to trend that way. Like I said, we've been seeing this for the past, I'd say 4 or 5 years. You're going to have part-time people now, and it's more and more. It used to be 2 or 3, 4 or 5. I tell you right now, most of the beaches last summer, it was probably 70% of your lifeguard amount of lifeguards that you have were part-time.
Yeah.
So does that concern supervisor staff? Because I like when people come back and have experience, and you can look to your left or right.
Yeah, it's not concerning. I mean, you got a lot of talent. It just that you have to then make the schedule every day. It's more work for sure. And think about it. Back in the day with John Boyd, it was the same. The same 2 guys sat on the same stand. It's like what was the schedule? They just photocopy it. Now you have to really go through it. I think it's great. I think it brings in a lot of what do you call it? Diversity. And people are more on top of it. You don't get kind of lazy. If you come in for a couple of days, you're all fired up, and then you look for
energy. You're ready to go.
Yeah. No. But unfortunately, that's
the best part of my week.
What's that?
It's the best part of my week.
Yeah,
I love coming back.
Yeah,
like I'm more comfortable like sitting the wood than I am like on the back of the beach with a beer. Just because it's hard for me to relax when I'm in that setting on the beach. That's like where I can't see what's going on. Like if I'm at a beach and I hear a whistle, I'm usually picking my head up and looking at what it was.
Right. If you
just instinctually, and like I tend to just scan anyway. I tend to judge whatever lifeguard is on the stand, whether it's Seaside Heights or not, like about how they're keeping their water. It's just like it's hard for me to turn it off, and it's hard for me to like relax because I'll like hear a whistle, especially in other beaches, because a lot of other beaches do the double whistle. And when I hear 2 whistles back to back, in my mind, that's the start of like a runner, which signals our rescues. So I jump. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to turn that off. And like I would rather be sitting the stand on a weekend, not getting paid, than like sitting on the back of the beach.
Yeah. Well, when you ask, and when Sean, you ask about what's preferable, I'd rather have a part-timer who has a lot of experience, like our guest, as opposed to a 16-year-old kid. And even a 17-year-old kid, because they could have a lot of experience. They could have started a junior lifeguard program. They could have been there for 5, 6, 7 years. And we talked about that. And a lot of them have got great experience. So I don't want to belittle that either, because Timmy was talking about that there's some great 16, 17-year-old kids coming out of there. But again, it's hard. How much experience do they have? And so it goes back and forth. I think the way it's turning out, it's a blessing in disguise. We didn't do this before because we didn't have to. We had plenty of people who wanted to work, but now we don't have it. Things are changing. So I think it's going to get more and more opportunity for people to come in, as long as you guys could stay in shape. That's the thing. I mean, if you're working at Wall Street 6 days a week, and you come on a Sunday and you're and you're getting older. No, yeah. But I mean, that's the only thing that I could see. But I'm very happy about it. But it's a little bit more work, but we do agonize over the schedule.
It's like kind of keeping you ready for season of your sport or whatever. Just,
So listen to this now. But now we were just talking about this before we started the show. So now there's new rules and regulations, or new regulations coming down, or recommendations for first aid. You have to have this really comprehensive first aid. And I think it's going to be, I don't know, it might be 20 hours.
Jeez.
And we're going to have to teach it, and it's going to be mandated. So, that's another side of the coin. We want to have young kids. We want to try to have part-times, but then you have to have the training. They're actually going to come down harder and harder on the training. They want us to train for everybody who's going to use the ATV, train for that, have it documented. have a very.
Are you going to do any training for the PWC?
Jet ski? Yes, everything.
My brother was someone who trained like lifeguards. Like he went out and did like was like certified. He like went out to like California, Hawaii, or something like that.
Well,
got like certified to teach. He's now a like water safety instructor at the Monmouth County. Police Academy.
Well, the reason I say this, because the two kids who died. We had two lifeguards who died. So there, you have OSHA and other entities looking at this and saying, we want to have it documented. You got to have the training, because whoever drives a truck or ATV, you run somebody over, or you get hurt yourself. So these are going to be more things that are coming into play. So you work, say, I get a part-time guy who works, say, 2 days a week. How are we going to train them? So it's going to, it raises, it raises challenges. So from a standpoint, so you ask me, it's just more work. It's harder to do, but it's worth the work. In my opinion, it's worth the aggravation and the more work, because we get more quality lifeguards on the stand who have more experience. So I think it's a good thing. So hopefully, hopefully you'll keep on coming back and back and back.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So. I do it like a year by year basis. I usually make the decision in like June.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
It's like a June.
There's
that's a June.
There's also the slight competition between you and Tyler over years, and when Tyler.
Well, if I just don't come back, he doesn't have anything over me.
Why?
Yeah, that doesn't make
because
any sense.
your rank is meaningless off the beach for me. What are you gonna do? Pull rank at the bar?
I don't throw years around like that.
Well,
said exactly like someone who throws years around.
Who will do so. When
I think
nothing's worse than Juliana. I came back after a gap summer, so she was in my class as like a rookie, and now she came back with 1 year experience.
Ooh, does she boss you around?
And my first day back, I set up my stand, and it was a little too close for Juliana's liking, and she radioed down to me to have me move my entire stand. Like
really
15 yards to the south. Wow. And I looked at her and I was just like, how about we both move our stands 7 yards to the south? And she just goes, rank.
That's brilliant.
And I was just like, come over here and make me, Juliana.
She's tough. Yeah. Well,
she would have. I would have been terrified if she walked over. Not gonna lie.
What'd you do? You did it.
I did it. I did it. I was so mad. And then I dressed her super properly now over the radio. I called her like Miss Senior Guard Julie Ballerini, stuff like that.
No, we got to get her on here. We'll get her perspective on.
Tyler, she'll pull you out of that seat. She'll be like, I want to sit there.
She gotta have my spot.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be upset about that, Tyler. I want that spot, Tyler.
What
you want this spot?
Yeah.
This is my spot.
If I only have one more year.
You, Julie, no one's getting this chair from me.
So let's talk
about
how
yours is a different color. It's
I know.
black.
Honestly, what is this, the guest chair?
Yeah, you're in the guest chair.
That's a guest chair.
Right,
so keep going. Let's keep going. So what's
Adam? I want to ask you another question. We all have lifeguard, or we tend to give each other nicknames, right? Sean, we call Key. For some reason, they call Durs
because Andreas is too long.
Yeah, your name
also people tend to mispronounce it like I do. So like that's too long. You gotta cut that off to Anders, and then that's also just too long. So Durs.
I think it was actually a workaholics joke.
I don't know.
That Charlie O'Connor made. Kachmar, what do they call you?
Just Doc. We have
just
say hello.
They just call you Doc.
Laura Berg. Say hello there. We have somebody on our comment there.
Yeah, now that I'm on the podcast, you guys aren't going to get any comments.
But
no.
What's your favorite nickname you've been given?
I've been given. I think everyone would be upset with me if I didn't say Brosonski. And I take pride in that nickname.
How did that nickname came about?
Because I hold the record for days consecutively sat at the bay in Seaside Heights. Yeah,
but not by a rookie.
Not by a rookie. No, and that's why I take pride in it.
As a senior guard,
32 days as a senior guard in a row, no days off at the bay.
That's got to be some kind. Well,
just rotted on that stand. So hot back there.
That's got to be some kind of like all-time record for even just lifeguarding days straight.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't need a day off. I was at the bay.
Yeah, you can make a lot of money though if now at the time and a
Those
half.
paychecks were juicy.
You make
Yeah, time and a half.
make a
man.
lot of money sitting at the
Oh
bay.
my gosh,
Next
could
thing
you
you know, we're just
imagine?
gonna be like lining up for the bay job every day. Like whoever gets there first gets to sit the bay.
Well,
Imagine-
yeah, it used to be funny because like when you first started, like when I had Al here, airs, we all started in the bay first rookie year, a couple of weeks,
a couple days,
and then
couple days
you go
there.
back up, and then what happened was, I'd be on the south end and it'd be brutal up there. I remember once I got a summertime flu. I was sick, and so I got put down. Then you don't go home; they put you down the bay. So down the bay, and I start to feel better. It's like great down there. I'm getting paid. I'm doing crab cages. The guy has the marine over there. I'm hanging out. There's all these,
out.
and I don't want to talk, but a lot of these girls were down there. They're
Darlings.
They're bringing their little
I
kids.
saw no girls.
Right. And here's the thing. And then I remember and this was John Boyd, and it's like 3-4 days. Like, how you feeling, Kachmar? I'm like, oh man,
That's so much work.
and I was like, I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. I think I still have a fever. And then I remember they came down and they saw me there, making crab cages and having lunch and drinking. That was it. I was right back. It was bad.
Doc Ditchkiss has the best bay story I've ever heard in my life. I'm not going to tell it for him. If he wants to tell it on air, he can.
But let me make it. But
epic.
the point I was going to follow was that. So what it used to be is, and we don't do that anymore, but we would say, okay, you're going to go down the bay if you missed a rescue or you came in late.
Yeah.
It was kind of and it was just okay. But then it started to get where people. That's great. Yeah, love it. I'm going to go down here. Get your girlfriend or boyfriend.
If you're gonna punish me,
come have my girlfriend bring me lunch.
No, if you're gonna punish me, the way to punish like a lifeguard is making him sit like Sumner Avenue on a Saturday by himself. Like that's the hardest work you're ever gonna do.
And I said to Al, because Al was here, and I said, I remember this was back in the 90s. It was in the 90s. I'm like, Al, these guys love going down here. I said, in fact, I think they, you're not hurt. Like you said, put them with me up in the south end, and and we'll do the workouts. You go down there, you're playing around. It was
easiest 32 days of my life.
What was bad though, you went to, there's a North Bay, right? It's still the North Bay.
Yeah.
There used to be a South Bay. And that was like the pits. It was right next to the road. Cars, people throw like beer cans out and hit you in the head.
Like the Goo Lagoon in SpongeBob.
It was like always rocky, and it was like the worst place in the world. And that was the really bad. And I don't know what, they finally closed it down, but
I guarded a crabbing tournament.
Really?
At the bay once. Yeah.
So no one fell in.
Huh?
So like no one fell out of the dock.
Literally pretty much. But so I had someone take a picture of me there. I was holding my can. I had like a raincoat on before the event started. It was in front of like the crab shack. And I made it my profile picture on Facebook. And like 6 months later, I get a text from one of our supervisors. He's like, did you steal one of those rain jackets? Like, why is your profile picture on Facebook one of those rain jackets?
Boy.
I was like, no, I didn't steal it. I just had a picture taken when I was there. But yeah, he thought I stole it. I was about to be in big trouble.
Tyler mentioned that
the township was gonna charge me for it.
Oh boy. Tyler mentioned that I like gear, and I just want to for the record, I've never stolen any gear from Seaside Heights ever.
Just from each other.
No, never. I don't have anything.
No, yeah, you don't.
I return everything,
listen,
even the shorts.
I want to say something about you because our guest. So, what I remember, first of all, I got a good story for the bay. I'll tell you if you want to hear it after this. But we really always had a thing about how you look. Your hair, shaved, and it's getting like now it's like But I remember you were one of the ones who. You had, and I always never gave you a hard time. I defended you, trust me, because you had your long hair, and flowing, and let me tell you something. You don't know the battles I had because they're like, he's gonna get it. I'm like, I said, listen, long as he could make a rescue, I don't care. You could have hair down to your butt. Remember, I used to tell you, I said, I don't care what you look like.
Like some guys, if they grow their hair out in the summer and they're spending like 6 days a week on the beach, it kind of gets gross. But like. I mean,
no.
I had the mane.
Yeah, you had the mane.
You can't tell me to cut that. It was like white.
No. I remember that.
You know how much work it took? You know how much work it took to get it to look like that?
So you broke the mold. So you were one of the guys. So I think that you were one.
It was in my 5-year speech where when Troy spoke about me, he spoke about like he was like, I can't get him to cut his hair.
No, because
I can't do it.
You broke the trend. You broke the, with the Marine haircut, above the ears and everything. And
Adam, your hair is,
I paved the way.
Paved the way. Yeah,
your hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really mean that.
And like with you with the beard. And I know everybody wants to be, but that's an interesting thing though with the hair.
It gets hot though.
What's that?
The beard gets hot.
It's sun
protection. I grow a nice beard, but like.
Well, what I felt bad was for the one lifeguard. He had a mullet and he had a mustache, and I don't know if they made it. They said cut your mustache
you
off.
can't break that pairing up.
No, right?
No.
You can't
do that.
He looked worse. He looked like an idiot without a mustache. I mean, you can't. Remember,
what does that say about him? Where he like looks better with a mustache? It's like
but the mullet and a
put a mustache in, and it is. Oh man, it's terrible.
We listen. We had one of the guys who worked on the beach, and I hope he's listening. His name is Sam Britton. He was one of our officers, and Sam during the winter he would wear a mustache. He'd have a mustache, right? And when he shaved that off, it was 180-degree difference person. And I don't think he liked shaving it off, but I don't want to say he looked better, but so that's the thing. So let me just tell you one Bay story, okay? You want to talk about a real quick Bay story? Do you want to hear it?
What do you got?
Yeah.
So I was down the Bay again. I was sick, and I'm by myself, and this guy comes up. You're gonna love this one. This guy comes up with I don't know at the time, one of those horns, for like a boat horn. The can is like real loud in case there's distress.
Yeah. He
comes up. Goes up on the back of my stand, puts the can next to my ear, and just shoots it right off. So it knocked me right off the stand. In those days, you know what I did? I turned around, went down, and I
dragged him onto the pier.
No, there was no pier. This is in the Bay.
Oh yes,
this is but I pummeled him, right? Man. And Steve Healy came running down and dragged me off of him. And what it was the lifeguard who was down there before me, who was there all the time. That was his buddy, and he was playing a joke on him. And it was a bad scene, but that was, I remember I couldn't hear like for the whole day after that. My ears were like, just,
Have you ever had it where like someone's your partner has like whistled and it just hits off their hand?
Just like rips an unexpected whistle, like right in your ear.
Right there.
Oh yes.
We got to cup that, man.
Yeah.
So you talk about Dr. D, a story. I remember a story with him, and it's not on the Bay, but in the ocean. And we could bring this up. We were all sitting there, and I swear on a stack of Bibles. I just happened to catch it, and somebody else saw who did it, but somebody took an orange. I'm not making this up, and threw it, right? And perfectly hit Billy right in the back of the head.
Was he sitting wood at the time?
Sitting wood. Okay. He was sitting wood. And we got that guy. We ran, and I don't know if we would actually, I shouldn't say this, we actually would run after over the boardwalk into the streets, but we caught that guy. But he just took an orange. Maybe it was an apple, but I just remember hit him right in the back of the head. You can't make stuff up like that. There's another guy who worked on our beach, and his name was Roger, and he became a police officer. But this guy was a black belt. He taught it. He was really tough. Right. So, it's, I mean, we got plenty of tough guys, but here's the deal. On a Sunday afternoon, and you guys now will know I'm not making this up because you all worked on the beach where we work. And tell me how plausible. What happened was somebody jumped a fence on his beach, but the guy who jumped the fence had a karate outfit on. I'm not making that up. I'm not making that up.
So do you try to fight that guy?
Wait. So what happened is, so what happened is,
like asking for a fight.
He jumped.
Like the guy's he's gonna use his feet.
I don't know.
He's like, I'm here for the Tekken tournament.
Right. And so what happened is he went up, and the guy started that, making the moves, and Roger just took him right out. It was like 2 seconds he was done. So, but that's you can't make these things up, and working there how crazy these things could be. So anyway, that was my stories. But you broke the mold with the hair though. You kind of pioneered the
I take a lot of pride in this.
See, maybe you'll get a statue for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this. Is this real?
What's that?
Adam has stated he would lose a leg to a shark on a rescue if it meant getting a statue in Seaside.
I mean, I'd dangle it. If I saw it.
I think about it sometimes when I'm alone on the stand.
I think about it. That all came up because I saw brown, like me, and I can't remember who it was, but there was just a lot of bluefish, like just jumping everywhere. And it was like entertaining. And then all of a sudden, like something jumped and it like wasn't a bluefish. Like it looked like Jesse Brown did like a cannonball in front of our stand, and like we saw it, like we saw the underside of its belly, and he like grabbed the radio, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm gonna call like a man in a gray suit, and I was just like,
you get a lot of
you're not calling a man in a gray suit.
You get makos, you get bluefin, there's very. I don't think anybody's got hit by a shark for years and years.
Yeah, but he was.
But it gets scary though. Yeah.
He was like, well, what if like he just like genuinely, which is like he's a rookie, and he was just like, well, like what if it bites someone? And I was like, then we go get them.
That's why and
we go get them, and like I was like, do you understand that like if we get that person, everyone in the shore knows our name. Like everyone knows who we are. And then he hits me with like the follow-up question, which is honestly, fair. It's like, well, what if the shark bite like comes back around? And I'm like, it honestly, like if a shark bites me while I'm saving a shark bite victim, even better, honestly. Because like if I saw it, I'd be like, I'd dangle it. It's glory.
Nah,
it's won't. There.
So what you do? That's why
I don't know.
There.
I don't know if you'd be able to do that
Maybe
because I know how much you love being active, and I know how much you love playing soccer.
If it meant a statue on the beach,
you would give up soccer.
All right, where would you put your statue?
Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah, well, they're gonna
in the middle of the JR stands for.
No. Let me tell you something. If the shark bit your leg off, you'd be dead. And the other thing is, you'd be dead. The other thing is, that's why we have boats.
There you go. You got immortalized.
That's why you got to have boats and you got to have boards.
The next step of even better after the shark gets you.
But that's when because they're talking about getting rid of boats. That's why there's a lot of beach trolls who don't have boats at all. We're in New Jersey is one of the only beaches that use boats for rescues. So that's why you need a boat, you need a paddle board. You get out there, and I would, if I saw a shark, I ain't going swimming. No way.
But all
hypotheticals
aside, realistically though, if someone got bit by a shark when you're lifeguarding, you're honestly not gonna know. Sharks, they do like one testing bite and then they swim away. They don't really interact with people.
I think you'd know.
But the things like you would see someone in distress on the back of the bar, and you'd be like, "Oh, rescue!" and you'd go get them. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to acknowledge someone.
You're not going to acknowledge that it was a shark until you get out there, because you're like, first of all, brown sharks, which is the only thing that we really get, aren't really that big. You know what I mean?
I would disagree. I'm not. We don't disagree with the guest, but I think you would know.
But you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think you throw binos on it. I think they're gonna be. You can see blood.
They're gonna be
water.
surrounded by a pool of blood.
They're gonna be. There's somebody drowning, swimming in. I think their body English is gonna tell you there's something majorly wrong out there. And but the odds are slim. But you know what? The odds are slim to get hit by a lightning bolt. The odds are slim to get hit by a boat and die. So I can tell you right now, I'll give you the pass on this one. It's possible, but I shark fish for 30 years, really. I used to go out every June, and we would go out 30 miles to the fingers, and we would chum, and we would catch. It would be hard, and mako and bluefin. So I don't think there's a lot of bad thing. You've made a good point about bluefish. You got more chance of getting bit by bluefish. I saw people.
I've been bit by bluefish,
and I've seen people who got like when they school, and the people will be standing there, and I've seen girls and guys come out with big gashes in their thighs.
I had one nip me when I was at the buoy once. I just did like a casual buoy swim, and I was out grabbing sand, just hanging out.
I never knew that.
I had one just like nip me in the thigh, and I swam in so much.
But when they're feeding,
like, oh my gosh,
when they're feeding, and they're running up to bait fish, their mouths are open, so they'll just graze you, and their teeth are like razors. So you'll get like a 2-inch, just slice. And it happens very rare. I mean, because I used to swim through schools of bluefish. We don't see them anymore. But that's more dangerous than the sharks.
You would swim through a school of bluefish?
Yeah, because you would be swimming, they'd be coming.
And they just come and
they would come. They
have no choice.
It would be, I tell you,
you can't get out of that. If one's just coming through you and you're out mid buoy, where are you gonna go? Like it's just gonna get. I remember once when I was on the stand, a bunch of guys were out doing a buoy for a mandatory workout, and like they were all at the buoy, and when they turned around, a pod of dolphins popped up between them and the beach.
Yeah.
Just like what? Like what are you gonna do?
This summer,
dolphins are never not cool. I just have to say it.
No,
See
dolphins are
one?
terrifying.
You don't like dolphins?
I do not want to be in the water with a dolphin.
Says the guy who's just like, yeah, I'll get my shark bit off for a
Dolphins.
statue.
Okay, I'll tell you.
That's why you draw the line.
I'll get my
I'll tell
leg.
you.
I'll get my leg bit off for a statue.
Yeah, that's fine because you want to know what dolphins do to
What?
people?
What?
Dolphins like drown people and then rape them.
And then
There's documented.
and then while they're holding you
there's
down,
documented incidents of dolphins like sexually assaulting
and
you.
then when they hold you down, they're
water.
whispering dirty dolphin language
they're
things
dirty
in your ear.
clicks. I swear to God, no. I would rather be in the water with a brown shark than like first of all, dolphins way bigger because there's zero chance. There's zero chance of the shark sexually assaulting me, but there's a chance that because there's no Kachmar. Look it up right now.
You're losing
it's
my
a documented thing that's
listen,
happening.
I grew up.
It's true. It's
There's also did you guys hear about the lady? So I forget what her name was. She actually did an episode on Joe Rogan, but she was living in a room, like an apartment with a dolphin in like waist deep water, trying to teach the dolphin. Is this true? Look at that image.
Back up. There's legitimate.
So this lady,
there's sources backing
You guys
this
are losing your minds.
lady is trying to teach the dolphin how to speak English, and like she's kind of getting somewhere with like getting it to, make similar enough noises, but it was a male dolphin and it kept getting really sexually frustrated. So her only option was to like relieve the dolphin, and the whole program got shut down.
No, I think you guys are losing your minds.
So
Listen,
to make your point, to clarify your point,
dolphins are the only other like animal on the planet that has sex for pleasure.
Yeah, I think dolphins are about it. I think that's the point that
Well, first of all, dolphins
crazy.
dolphins are mammals, and they're different than sharks. They're mammals. They're not fish.
Kachmar, just read this article or this sentence I've highlighted right now. But dolphins do get sexually aroused. Their sexual apparatus is such that rape can't be ruled out solely on grounds of mechanical impossibility. In 2002, or no, wait.
Who wrote? Who writes this
Washington
stuff?
State.
You're just throwing out our facts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
you guys,
zero chances of getting sexually assaulted.
You know what you guys got to worry about. You know what you guys got to worry about. You guys got to worry about drowning in the ocean. That's what
The dolphin will drown you.
No, I listen. I've seen dolphins. I've seen them at SeaWorld and all that. And I grew up
You
with
watch Cruelty?
I grew up with Flipper, so I'm not worried about dolphins.
We
But
all grew up with Flipper.
I think that
Flipper.
I thought it was Free Willy.
Free Willy, that's the one I'm thinking of.
I know
With
dolphins.
Remember the Air Bud movies?
Oh my God.
We had a real thing with like anthropomorphizing animals in movies in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, what?
A lot of talking animal movies.
What were those people trying to get away with?
So you talk about the dolphins. I remember times where we would row out and the dolphins, would be swimming next to us. I've watched them ride waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so cool to watch.
And I've swum
From the
out where they would come right past me. But this summer when I was swimming out, you talk about a school. There was a school, a bunker, and it was when I got to the buoy, they were right there. And it was like a wall of fish. And I was like, I ain't going to swim through that. And I turned around. So it is kind of, you ever swim into the pot,
I try my best not to.
The bait
it's
fish?
The bait fish. Yeah. And you can smell it. I mean, I turned right around.
Coming.
Right. But there's underneath
Something's fishy.
that, there's bluefish and stripers. They sit underneath there. So you don't want to, get that.
Uh-oh.
But lost everything.
No, we're good.
No,
No,
we're
we're
still
good.
live.
Oh, cool.
If anyone can in the comments, let us know if we just went
Phased out for a
if
second.
we just went black for a minute, that we'd really appreciate that.
Thank you.
It says we're still streaming, so we're gonna keep going ahead. And apologies if there was any kind of delay or blackout. Where were we?
Technical
pods.
difficulties.
So what else? So let's finish our thing with Weekend Warriors. So, and I think they're good to have. Anything else you wanted to talk about Weekend Warriors? Because I thought you had a whole bunch of questions about that, or is that at the end of it? No, that's it. No more Weekend Warriors.
I mean, we're just going where it goes.
I know you're all over
They
the
were
place.
just flowing.
You're giving me a headache.
This is fine. This is perfect,
Yeah.
Kachmar.
I'm looking to see if we're still on.
We are.
Nothing. So I think that what do you call it? I think that you guys like you, hopefully you'll keep on coming back.
Yeah.
You're a big asset to the beach. I know.
I'll get back to you in June.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
Okay, fine, maybe May.
And-
I'm feeling up.
well, we got another $1 an hour. I can tell you that.
Ooh.
You know what? You know what? That'll do it.
Another $1 an
That'll
hour.
do
right?
it. That'll do it.
Oh, here's the other thing. I'm trying to put the yellow boards. What about the yellow boards? I'm trying to get a whole bunch of yellow boards.
Yeah,
I
That
know-
would be sick.
yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah. Did you ever use the yellow board? The
Nope.
one, oh man, it's so
Yeah.
nice. It's so nice. I'd like to get every beach have a yellow board.
Can we do tournaments? I'll come back for tournaments.
Yeah, it's tough.
I
It's
keep
tough.
talking about it, Lifeguard Avengers.
You need,
I'm gonna create my own independent tournament team.
yeah.
I'll have tryouts. Any lifeguard on the Jersey Shore is invited to my tryouts.
Oh, man.
Yep, we're gonna put together the Lifeguard Avengers.
You need.
I don't even need to be Tony Stark.
You need a lot more lifeguards. I tell you how, if you want to do that, like I said, if we had on the beach, like Lavallette, a good example, they get there, the tournament team gets there 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and they train.
And they train.
Yeah.
And then then the regular life, then you start your 9 o'clock, the other guys come in and girls, and then you go until 10. It's a lot of work, but you need to have more lifeguards. If we could I don't want to say double, but at least another 10 lifeguards we could find. And you got to recruit
But
swimmers.
That's our biggest issue in Seaside Heights about not being able to do tournaments. Whereas like if you talk to my brothers, like they just rode all day.
Yeah,
It
they
was
what?
just
They
say
did
that,
what?
but they just had a lot more time on their hands away from the actual duties of being a lifeguard because they just had a larger beach patrol and had so many more
Right.
people on the stands
Right,
where like
right.
they could work out more midday and get like those rowing miles that they need to do in order to compete with the other rowers in
Yeah,
the Jersey Shore.
yeah.
Like a swimmer is a swimmer. You know what I mean? Like if you're a D1 swimmer, you can compete in the lifeguard tournaments and the swimming races no matter what, just because of how much time you're putting into swimming. Like
Well, you
at
gotta train. You
college
gotta
or
train.
whatever.
You
You're
have to
always
train.
training. Like you're always training, and a lot of
Yeah.
swimmers, lifeguards specifically, so they can train in the off season away from college. Whereas like for rowing, like you don't really have that. So like all your rowing is done in the summer, like nowhere else. So like you have to have the support of the beach patrol to be able to
Yeah,
leave your stand and
yeah,
row,
yeah.
and you have to have a like officers and leadership in the beach that supports that. Whereas like in Seaside, like we have such a small like staff that like our white shirts can't like ethically support me jumping off the stand for 2 hours in the middle of a Saturday or even a weekday because of how busy it is.
Yeah.
So
to just get those rowing miles in.
I got a lifeguard boat in my backyard here.
Mhm.
In Casino, that's the oarlocks from the boat. We used to start rowing in March,
Mhm.
first day of March.
Yeah.
And and a lot of these guys down South Jersey, if they're local, they're going to row. They'll go on weekends. I mean, you really can, but that's the kind of dedication you need if you want to be that good. But we need to do that. That's what I always push for, 3-man stands. That's what I wanted. So if you have 3-man stands or 3-person stands, one person is always training, rowing, paddleboarding. It don't matter how busy it is. I mean, unless there's rescues all over the place, but of course there's breaks and everything. And that's what I would like to see. And if we could do that, we could have competition.
Well, the other issue is that especially for rowing, it's the senior guy on that 3-man that's going to be out rowing. So you need another senior guy with him as well. Like you can't have a senior guy and like usually when I would get a 3-man, I would get like 2 junior guards essentially.
Yeah.
And then like, I can't leave them. Like I would need another senior guard.
Yeah.
So like also do that with.
It's hard. Different beaches are different, but Atlantic City, they work around it. It's a workaround, but and I would love to do it. What I wanted to do, and I've been talking about this for years, is we could probably do it is have a row race, the Van Dyne row race, an ocean row race. There's really not many around. Have the one in the bay. It could be a 2-mile, and that would be something fantastic. We have the venue for it.
How does this work with the surf boats being phased out of lifeguarding currently?
Not being phased out.
You just said that they were.
No. I didn't say no. I said we're the only. New Jersey is the according to Tim Harmon. New Jersey is one of the only states that use lifeguards for rescues, for active rescues.
So there's no news about them trying to have less surf boats on NJ beaches.
Now he didn't say that to me. He didn't say it to us. I mean, there might be some people that are talking about
maybe
it.
I misheard.
They're not used. Here's the thing: we're not using them for rescues all the time, but you got to have them. And I'm a big proponent of having them. For one, when it's cold, the water in May, you could train.
It's just part of the craft. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a big part of the craft.
It's great training. It's also, if there is a shark or somebody has a heart attack, you have the jet ski is great. What if the jet ski doesn't work? But I think that from the what do you call it? competition standpoint, one thing we could do is have a row race. We would have a nice big purse, and other beaches would come from all over the place. I would love to do that. I've been checking out around.
My brothers back in the day when I was watching them, they partaked in like a tournament. It was like a boats tournament, and I just remember it was televised, and I watched it at home, and it was just like hundreds of like ACs, Van Dynes, all lined up on the beach, and they like all went. I have no idea what the tournament was, but I just know that they were involved in tournaments that were just rowing, and they were twins, so like they're like the most perfect rowing partner. They're just a carbon copy of each other. Like their strokes are exactly the same.
Yeah, those guys from the Social Network, in Harvard that tried to get Mark Zuckerberg the idea for Facebook.
The Winklevoss,
Yeah,
the
something like
Winklevoss brothers.
Yeah,
the Winklevoss twins.
The Winklevoss twins.
Yeah,
They're the Winklevoss twins of rowing.
Nothing's better than having a rowing partner who's like
that's just instant
stroke length perfectly matches yours.
Right. There's a tournament down. It's called the Goudies, and it's down in Ventnor. And I participated in that, and that's an unbelievable. It's just all Van Dyne boats, and the whole idea, you row out to a bag. It's like a 30-pound burlap bag. It floats actually, but it's heavy, and that's an unbelievable thing to see, especially when it's like a 20 something boats.
Just watching them all launch at the same time.
Right,
that was like the main thing that was televised. I just saw all of them going into the water at the same time. It's crazy.
Right.
It is madness.
It's just, oh my gosh.
I bet one thing that is going to change is all those guys and girls are going to be wearing helmets from now on. I think that's going to be standard.
Maybe during a tournament.
For tournaments, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know about.
But real quick, we have 2 comments. Frank says yes, we did go blue. So we cut out for a minute. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Jack Van Schoik left a comment. He says, as the show's resident marine biologist, I feel like I should point out that there is no evidence of dolphins raping humans or other dolphins for that matter.
Just for a fact, just to point out that Jack Van Schoik is one of my old stand partners and just like to discredit everything I say. So
he looked that up.
I take that with a grain of salt. I think he is using his title as a marine biologist to get us to not look it up further and to just take his word. So
are you saying Jack is dating a dolphin? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to rule
Jack's
it out.
Over there saying,
it
was completely consensual.
I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not. I'm sorry, Jack.
Poor Jack.
He's a skeptic.
No, Jack's a serious.
You want to hear a funny thing
Jack's
about Jack?
A serious scientist.
You want to hear something funny about Jack? You want to hear something funny about Jack? For some reason, I got into the habit of telling people that sharks, because like their skin is teeth-like, that when they bump you, it's like they're tasting you. And I completely made it up. But I said that to like mess with people while I was like lifeguarding. Yeah. Because you get so many stupid questions. You know what I mean? So I would tell people that. And like I started telling people that, and I like literally forgot that it wasn't true. until one day that I said that in front of Jack, and he was like, I don't think that's true. And then I had to think about it, and I was like, oh wait, like that might have just been something I made up.
Yeah, you lied so much.
And it took 5 years. That's on all of you guys. That it took 5 years for someone to call me out on it.
Oh, that is rich.
That does not back up what he said about the Dolphins.
I
just to state that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm gonna take Jack's word.
Whatever
on this matter.
Whatever.
There was some NASA scientist lady who reports that she had sex with a dolphin while working for NASA.
That's what I think that's the lady in the waist deep pool.
Yes.
I don't know. Those things are sexually aggressive, and I don't want to be in a water with it.
Lovat.
Yeah, that's her. I think
the dolphin who loved me.
Wait. In the 1960s, Margaret Lovat was part of a NASA-funded project to communicate with dolphins. Soon, she was living with Peter 24 hours a day in a converted house. Christopher Riley reports on an experiment that went tragically wrong.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
let's just move on from there.
Yeah.
The topic done. Is pretty rough.
We're over this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like to think that this show. And I think we're all in agreement about this, but this show is not only about lifeguarding and the ocean, but the people that love lifeguarding in the ocean. And you know, you have other interests other than just lifeguarding. So what
Yeah,
are
of
some of
course.
those? I know you love playing soccer.
Yeah, I
I
play
know
soccer.
you're kind of into the finance world and
Yeah,
file some charts.
yeah,
So
I do some stuff that like whenever I get asked what I do, like for my big boy job, no one really understands. Least of all me.
dude, I'm gonna be honest. I've heard it 50 times. Not once have I
Yeah, no, it
understood a
doesn't get
word
it
of
doesn't
it.
get any better every time. I do back office financing for a tech company,
Okay.
and that's usually where I lose people.
Mm.
Yeah, Morty.
Yeah, our company.
To be honest,
Our company is a tech company that provides financial institutes with programs to do their back office, do all the accounting after they make all their transactions and stuff. And we give them those programs so they can do all that. And then we also offer them essentially outsourcing of all their back office. So they just don't have to do it. And that's what pretty much all of our clients do. They don't really use our services without that. So,
Okay.
and we also provide just like overview of all their funds, and we flag any potential audit risks as well. So like we also provide that for them as well.
okay.
Just an outside company doing that, and it allows them to focus more on financial advising with their clients specifically.
Cool.
Did you get that? Did you get that?
No, not like.
Yeah.
But so now that the boring part of introducing yourself is over,
Yeah.
what's like? I know you two wanted to talk about like Sean has some questions about cryptocurrency. One question I did want to ask you though is because you were a college soccer player
Yeah.
and
The leading scorer on our rec team.
you were the leading scorer on our good sports team, Watermen
man.
FC.
Yeah.
That's the real accolade.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's better than any accolade I got in college.
Like, how important was lifeguarding for you in staying in shape for college soccer?
Well, anytime I went back to college soccer, I was one of the most in shape guys.
Uh-huh.
The only ones that were more in shape than me going back were my good friends Josh, Andrew, Chris. You know them. I
Yeah.
don't know if you met them in Cape, but I'm pretty sure they just like wouldn't allow their pride to like their pride wouldn't let them beat me. Like wouldn't let me beat them. You know what I mean? They just all had a little bit more heart than me. You know what I mean? So like, but I always went back in pretty decent shape because running in sand all summer and then getting like actual cleats on and running on a turf is just so much more efficient. It's just, I felt like I felt so much quicker. And it always just like anytime I talked to any of our fitness coaches, they would give all the players like packets of like workout plans and fitness plans and goals they needed to meet in the off season. And I would just tell them, hey, I work on a beach patrol. Do I need to do this on top of my like daily 1 hour mandatory workouts on the beach? And they just were like, no, just I'm not even gonna send it to you. So it helped me with that a lot because if it wasn't for lifeguarding, I would not be in nearly good enough shape to go back.
Yeah.
I would have had a really hard time getting to the same level of fitness that I had at the end of the summer without lifeguarding.
Yeah, we've had guys on our beach in La Valette who were, big time soccer players, and they were unbelievable athletes. They were tough in the water. I remember this one guy, John Arkins. He was, man. I think he did both. He played soccer and he was a swimmer. And there was
land and sea.
There was two brothers who worked at State Park. I can't remember, and they were just like unbelievable soccer players. And they were just tough athletes. So we get the wrestlers, but soccer, I would say, was another group of people who were really, really tough. And I always, because when we used to do swim, run, swims, and they always started to walk me down, because they would get me in.
When I was younger, I would go into the swim runs, like knowing I wasn't as strong as like the older guys. I would try to beat them by as far as I could
in the run,
and then I'd get into the water, and then they would all pass me. And
that was always my
last one. But like when I was younger, like I kept it like respectable. I wasn't like way behind them like the other rookies that I had, but it was because of the lead that I took in like going into the water.
Yeah.
Well, it's so crazy. Like the transition, especially when you're playing soccer, or I mean any land sport for that matter, but from running on the sand where just every step you take is being absorbed like 2 inches, like you're sinking. To hop back onto the turf, throw some cleats on, it's like a great feeling.
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought I was just flying. It was good. I remember they used to call like my freshman year, like I was running around because I had like the tan and like the bleach blonde hair, and they were calling me Baywatch and like our first day and stuff, making fun of me.
Oh, Baywatch jokes.
The best.
Do you guys get tired of those?
No.
No.
No, I have a notes in my phone of like Baywatch quotes just so I can like refresh before the summer, just to
You know what?
hang up your shorts. Bro.
I'm gonna start using more Baywatch quotes on the Instagram.
Yeah,
Right?
Why not?
Why not? Ham it up.
I'm also speaking of the new movie Baywatch, not like the series with David Hasselhoff.
Oh,
I'm talking about the one with The Rock and Zac Efron.
That was pretty funny.
That was fun. That movie.
You got to watch that more than once.
That movie's terrible, but like the funny thing about it,
I think it's hilarious.
It's hilarious because they make fun of the movie the entire time. Where like the lifeguards are trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs into their beach. They're chasing these guys, and like a cop is just like, "Yo,
You're a lifeguard.
They're like
just a lifeguard. Yeah,
the lifeguards. You don't have any jurisdiction here, and they're like, you're just a lifeguard.
Yeah, it's like
you don't have jurisdiction. You're just people chasing people.
But if you look at that
So
movie,
funny.
because I watched some things and I read some things about it, and I watched it again. As if you watch it, like as the movie goes on, I think the girls' boobs get bigger as time goes on.
I heard that.
And then also like they all
slow reveal.
They're running like real slow. There's just a little sweat. Like they do goof.
I will say The Rock committed to his best impression of lifeguard culture, and I appreciate it.
Well, so your generation.
I think they did a good job.
Yeah, honestly, just because of how funny they made fun of the premise of the movie so well, and like the quotes in the movie were so funny. Like you don't just watch the bay, you are the bay, and like saying that to the rookies after they got announced in roll call that they were on the bay for the fifth day in a row. I'm like, take it seriously, you are the bay. Mikey Ballerini.
Yeah. So your generation was Baywatch. My generation, when I started, was 77. There was a movie came out. I don't know if it was 76, 77, saying it was called Lifeguard with Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
And actually, it's like it's a weird. If you watch it now, I mean, to me, it's like the guy was a pedophile.
That was like a James Patterson book or something like that, right?
Yeah. But he has.
I read the book.
You're saying
he has
it didn't
sex.
age well.
He has no, but he has. It's like he has sex with some girl. But my
he
point
runs
is that
away with this girl, right? They don't they steal money from something?
No. But forget, you got to watch the movie. It's But the thing is, what happened was when that movie came out, there was a song, "Hey, I want to be a lifeguard," and so we would be moving the boat back in the morning or setting up the stands, and people would be busting our behind, singing a song like, "Oh, I want to be a lifeguard," and just edging us on. So we had to deal with that. And Baywatch was kind of like that too. I think it depends on who watched it and how they came. Some people thought it elevated lifeguards. Other people thought it made us look like idiots.
When we watched Baywatch, I remember when it came out that summer,
did you go when we were in
costume? We went the majority of our beach patrol went to see that movie directly after work, and we all showed up in our life.
The series or the new movie?
The new movie.
With The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just went straight from the beach. All right. And I remember I changed and showered. All right. But I put on a jacket or something like that. Yeah. And all of a sudden I'm buying my ticket and I see McKee walking from the bathroom into the thing in his lifeguard shorts, I
probably
a t-shirt, a whistle, and barefoot.
Oh man!
In the barefoot, and I walk into the movie
you really,
theater,
Sean, you did that. Oh, that's terrible, man.
In the summer, I never wear shoes.
I walk into the movie there, and it's 20 of our guards and no one.
SHBP rolls deep. We Kachmar. We had a like we had mentioned earlier. You know where Good Sports is in Wall?
Yeah.
We had a soccer team that played in the men's league there this summer, and we would show up with 20 people to watch our games to this meaningless men's league where the other dudes are just showing up after work, just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
And we're showing up in full lifeguard uniform. We're zinking our faces before the game.
So we used to have the softball games with a keg of beer. And I wish unfortunately we can't do that anymore because half the kids, but we used to have these epic games and we would, have play the police or a lot of times just ourselves, and we'd have one guy would be the pitcher. And oh man, but the keg of beer by the end of the day, by the end of the night, the keg of beer is just about done, and you couldn't even run the bases. You're so hammered. But that was good. So, but no, that's why one thing that we do have is ourselves. It's almost like having a big family. When you're growing up, I had 6 brothers and sisters. So when I was younger, we'd hang out with my brothers and sisters and play with them. We hang out. We over the years, that has been one of the things that I miss a lot. That's why I try to have where every Sunday I would have the lifeguard. We go to pizza, and I thought that was so important to do.
When's
to
the
keep
last
us
time
together.
you did that? Last time
Yeah,
you did that was, was
come
the
on.
first weekend I ever worked on the beach.
I tell you what, Corona kind of put a kibosh on that too.
Corona 7 years ago.
And no.
7 years ago.
Bird flu, right? What was it?
It's always something.
it was the avian flu back then.
But we used to have softball. We used to, we would do volunteer stuff like with cardboard, try to, collect cardboard. We did a lot of things. And I think that, but we try to do
The
that.
camaraderie of lifeguarding is
well,
good.
if you want to talk about like weekend warriors and like why like I come back and stuff, it's really for like my relationships at the beach, not pretty much anything else. Like you can say like, oh, it keeps you in shape, you want to stay in the sun, but like I stressed earlier, like my relationship with the beach changed over time of like my 9 years here, where like now I'm like not really comfortable unless I'm like on the wood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like my relationship when I first started lifeguarding with like the beach patrols and like the like white shirts and the bosses, where I was like terrified of them and about messing up and everything, and like where that has evolved over 9 years, where like I view all the white shirts as like my friends. They're guys that I respect and I still look up to, but like I have like a really good relationship and a friendship with them, you know what I mean? And then apart from that, I have my relationship with like the red shirts and all of us, you know what I mean? Where I've seen like myself grow over these 9 years when I was just an 18-year-old kid terrified to sit on the beach. Whereas like now as a 9-year, like I can look at like Sean, who was like a rookie when I was like a 5-year, you know what I mean? I can now also watch how much like Sean has grown over like his like 5 or 6 years at the beach, you know what I mean? And it's like, those are the things that get you coming back, you know, it's the family, you know, because like I have like my weekends, you know what I mean? You say you want to come and tan on the beach. I can tan on the beach every Saturday, Sunday if I want to and not work. You know what I mean? I could go wherever I want.
Like literally either way,
I
you're going to be coming to the beach and hanging out with us. Like,
yeah, like exactly. Like, why wouldn't I like come back at that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
So you are coming back.
It's I told you that's a June decision. That
family, dude.
I got 6 more months to make that decision, man. But no, that's really why I feel like a lot of the weekend warriors come back is because they feel like an attachment to the family that surrounds whatever beach patrol they join. You know what I mean?
I think that there is no denying the kind of bonds that are built when you kind of go through what we've all been through together and what any lifeguards go through together while sitting the stand and the things they see and the stuff they deal with.
I think, and that's important. That's one
unbreakable bond.
When, you're 9 years now, like me, I'm almost 30. I like to see, that's one of the things that brings me back. And you ask me, it's seeing you guys come in when you're 16, 17, 18, 20, whatever, and then mature over the next, 5, 6, 7 years. And you guys become better lifeguards, better,
Mickey's come a long way. Mickey's come a long way.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, he's come a long
way. Since the rookie that came up to me and said, I can row by myself. I can row by myself. Mickey came up to me one day as a rookie and he asked me to teach him how to launch the boat.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Teach me how to launch a boat. And I was like, okay, like how are you rowing? He's like, oh, I'm a great rower for a rookie. I know what I'm doing in that boat. And I was like, really? I was like, do you think you could row alone? He's like, well, I haven't rowed alone, but like I could do it. And I was like, okay. Flat day, like completely flat.
There's a lot of wind.
Takes him zero wind.
There's a lot of wind.
Zero wind. Botches the first launch of the boat so badly we have to reset.
That was
completely
the wind.
Pull the boat out of the water, reset completely. And we get out, and I'm sitting in front of headquarters, and I'm just like, oh, like McKee, like, you said you were like a good rower, right? Like you think you know what you're doing. And he was like, yeah. So I was like, all right. I popped my oars. I just jumped out and swam the shore and left him out there. And for the next 30 minutes, he rowed in a circle in front of our headquarters, just in a circle. And we left him there. We left him there for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, McKee just has this like amazing stroke where he's like leaning, his arms are straight. And I was like, oh my, did he figure it out? Did like he just go through like a learning curve? This is amazing. Like then all of a sudden out behind the boat is a paddleboard with McKee on it. And I realized it's our assistant captain, Troy Van Heist, in the boat rowing back. And I'm just like, oh, what did I just do?
Yeah, you got lit up.
What did I just do?
Lit up,
No, so I ran back though, and I get the boat out of the water with Troy, and he just like looks, he's like, did you just leave like a rookie in a boat? Did you like ditch him and swim the shore? And I was like, yeah, that might have happened. And he was just like, dude, like he's been rowing in a circle in front of the headquarters for a half hour. We've been watching him Like it's like the funniest thing that's
It
happened all
was
week.
windy.
So it's the funniest thing that's happened all week. I was like, yeah, he was talking himself up too, and he was talking himself up as a rookie that proceeded to throw in a circle. But yeah,
Well, I can tell you that, going forward, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. With this, I hope we don't overreact. And that's
I'll
one
give
thing.
him a helmet next time.
Thank you.
Nah,
I'll give him a helmet next time.
like I said, the boat. We've used the boat for all these years, and it's a great thing. But getting back to with watching people and why we do what we do, I watch you guys and girls, get better at your craft and mature, and that's what brings me back. I like to see that it gives us a lot of good feeling. And plus, there's nothing like when you guys all work with me, when the shit's hitting the fan and there's bad water. We're all, you guys all rise to it. I see the gleam in your eye. We all get your attitudes change totally different, and it's that sport. It's like it's the, I don't want to say it's the battle, but it's definitely a feeling where it just energizes you, and you're saving people's lives, and you're cranking through the ocean, and it's a challenge. So there's nothing. That's another reason you come back for that too. But also, like you said, the family. And I got to try to bring back the Sunday afternoon or Saturday, pizza.
You do
taste
realize
exchange.
that you just said that on the internet,
weekend-
where it will
weekend.
be
Listen,
saved forever. and we're
I
gonna
want
hold
but
you
you
to
guys,
that.
you guys got to do this. I got to have people go, but I definitely want to do our Sunday. I
Free
think
pizza
Sunday's good.
every Sunday.
Yeah,
Dr. Michael
yeah,
Kachmar.
yeah, yeah.
It's on the
He keeps
podcast.
saying yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll try it
He's
again.
never
We'll try-
it's happening.
yeah, I've
All
done.
of our listeners can come.
I did that for so many years, and I tell you what, it's great. Especially, it's really where we have to do it for sure is when we have a really crazy day and we was busy and we had multiple rescues, because that's when it's that cold beer and the pizza, and you talk about what happened that day.
You're like, now it's the fire department's issue,
right? But the thing is,
their issue.
it's
We're
the
good.
stories. It's the stories that you had that day that you could talk about, and that's something we definitely bring back. So,
Oh yeah.
so let's see, we're about an hour and almost an hour and a half. So what do you think, guys? Anything else you want to keep going, or you want to?
Sean, you got any
Anything
crypto
else?
questions for this guy?
Because I think it's getting.
Is it time to buy Bitcoin, or should we sell?
I
I heard it was a bear market recently.
and no one really knows is the bear market until it's like well into the bear market. I feel like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, but like a bear market, regardless if you know you're in it or not, like a bear market is good to acquire a quantity of coins because the prices are all down. You know what I mean?
But aren't they going down perpetually almost, or
No, I mean,
foreseeable?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to give financial advice. Just
On
like,
the-
Yeah, don't.
crypto. I'll
It's
tell
not-
you.
it's
I'll
not
tell
good.
you.
Don't
I'll
give
tell you-
financial
I'll tell you
advice,
what I
no.
do. I mine, or I essentially like mine helium,
Mhm.
which is done through hooking up a helium router to the internet, which emits a lo-fi signal to allow people to connect to this. It's essentially like a competitor to the World Wide Web, and the more
What's that
activity-
called? The
Well,
competitor.
it's the helium network.
Okay.
It's called the People's Network.
That's not the
yeah.
dark web. Is
No,
that-
no, it's just
No,
like
that's where
competitor.
you find videos of dolphins doing stuff.
Yeah.
and they shouldn't.
yeah.
But yeah, if you contribute to their, like, you just hook up a router with an antenna and you emit like a lo-fi signal the same way like a cell tower does, essentially. And then the more essentially like activity that goes through your router, and the more other routers that like it's connected to, the larger like broadband.
Is helium a coin? Or a
Yes,
currency?
helium is a coin. Yeah, helium is a coin, and you get rewarded with helium currency. Like me and Tyler have a router in Seaside that we split, and
We're getting rich on internet money, baby.
Yeah, so we just accumulate.
You want in?
We
understand
accumulate
it.
helium coins over time. We essentially do like 0.7 of a coin a day recently. That's what it's been kind of doing.
It's like $25 a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like I have two other routers as well that I have set up.
What you're doing with the helium router is you're contributing to a signal that supports smart devices. So all the city bikes in New York City, if you hook them up to like a helium network, then they could communicate with each other through that.
Are they hooked up to a helium network?
No, that's just like an example of what
That's an
could be
example,
done, though.
but
they're also
Amazon's kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's a competitor there.
Yeah, and then
But it's a very interesting idea.
Helium's also going into a 5G like phone network. So like I can essentially hook up a 5G antenna to our router, emit that signal, and then when people connect to it, I get rewarded in the coin, and then I just generate that coin over time. And the larger router I have, or the larger antenna I have,
So there's helium and there's helium coins. Or is it synonymous?
It's the helium network.
It's the helium network that runs on the helium coin.
Okay.
Like that's what, like if you want to go on that network and like contribute.
So you're providing the service that is helium internet network.
Yeah.
Yes, the people's network.
And you can connect to it wherever. It's instead of like a Wi-Fi signal, which is like within your house, it's a long 5 signal that you can connect to anywhere. And like the signal that we send out goes to about Sandy Hook to like Atlantic City at the farthest from Seaside.
Do you need an internet plan to use helium? Or like how do you connect to helium? Mr.
I don't really use helium. I'm being honest. I'm just kind of in it for.
It's a great way.
Yeah,
dipping our toes. We sounded like experts for a hot second.
But it's a way. I don't utilize the services that helium provides, but I just offer them.
Okay.
For a reward.
Great. All right. Well, are we gonna finish on that?
Have any questions about that, Kachmar? You want to get on it? You want to sponsor? You want to sponsor me and Tyler's helium mining cruise?
I got my own investments. I mean, I'm dealing with enough crap. I'm waiting for. I'm worried about inflation and everything else. I don't even want to talk about that stuff.
Do you know
that's why I'm decentralizing my money, so I don't have to worry about inflation. It's just the bear market is worse.
Think about this, Kachmar, because I get excited about the other stuff. Like we talk about this, like the metaverse stuff and NFTs. So what you could do is say we make this podcast, we could put like a digital stamp on it that makes it totally original and non-replicable. The NFT stands for non-fungible token. We could do that to our podcast and sell like an original copy of it to someone, and they can own like a 1-of-1 copy of our podcast.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's gonna buy it.
People are already buying that.
Listen, I'm working. There's
a market for everything.
I'm working with the.
Hey, if you don't believe in your own product,
I'm working with Elon Musk right now.
What are you guys working on?
So you own Tesla.
He won Person of the Year.
They're making whistles together.
So yeah. I was listening to him. He was talking about he believes we're in a simulation.
How about this? I have an idea. If we can get 1,000 followers on this channel, we'll find a way to give 10 of those whistles away. 10 of those Tesla whistles.
Or just 10 NFTs away.
Yeah.
Or 10 NFT. We'll make an NFT and give it to you, a worthless NFT.
What we can do, you know what we should do eventually.
Eventually,
what we should do is you could have, if people listen to us, we could give away something during the show. That's something you could do, but that's for another day. No,
So hit that subscribe button.
Right, listen to us. So I appreciate you coming today. It was great.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Also, real quick, I just want to make it clear. We have no idea what we're talking about when it comes to this financial stuff.
No, it's just my best.
I thought you were going to say you have no idea what you're talking about on anything.
That's probably also fairly accurate.
I think that's self-evident.
Why do you put a limit on it?
I believe I'm an expert in something.
All right. Well, listen. This is an opinion show, right? So we all have opinions. So anyway, my name is Dr. Michael Kachmar. We have this is Lifeguards Off Duty with Dr. Michael Kachmar. Sean's going to put up some of our stuff there. So that's our webpage. How about putting our email address, which is drkachmar@icloud.com. And we're on every week, hopefully every Tuesday. We have a lifeguard show. You guys could comment. We're on Spotify and Apple iPod, Apple podcast. I'm sorry, that's why it's getting a long night. And we're on YouTube and Facebook, and you guys could follow us. You could comment and when we're live, and we'd love to hear from you guys. And that's Sean. What do you want to say? Anything? Yeah.
No.
Instagram.
What's our Instagram?
Instagram at IG@LG.association.
All right. So you guys could get us there. Tyler, anything to add?
Adam, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
You were wonderful.
Thank you.
Do you know how we sign off?
Stay out, stay alive.
Yeah, you
Well,
want,
let's
you
get the
do it-
music
You do
going
as much
first.
as you want. You put your own spin on it. This part's about you, you know. And if you have anything else you want to share or promote,
And we're gonna say good night to everybody.
I don't really have much. I'm just gonna say
maybe your personal Instagram page.
Nah, I already got enough followers. I don't need any more. I'm pretty much. I'm like. I don't think anyone who I don't already follow is watching this to begin with. So
fair enough.
that's
Well,
fair.
the floor is yours. Give us the sign out.
Stay out, stay alive. That's all I gotta say.
Nice.
All right.
That's it. All right, everyone.
Short
Good night.
and
Thanks
Yep.
for watching.